Good morning, another gorgeous morning here on the lovely Gold Coast in beautiful Queensland, Australia. Today I want to have excuse me, a little yarn about my journey to understanding that word love. Something we all desire in a life. It is so different for the individual who wants to connect with it. It's a very natural emotion that is ingrained within our soul to be motivated to achieve or to connect with it, to find it, to embrace it. It's like something's missing, and we believe that the word love, or the feeling we have for love, is the completion in our life. And it doesn't matter what age a person is at. I can remember as a child, I had feelings for girls as far back as 6 or 7. And I was imagining what it was like to connect with a certain girl and how that made me feel when I was really young. And when she gave me a card for Valentine's Day, I couldn't stop reading it. It was like I had won the lottery. So it's so important in our lives. It's really unexplainable as far as its content is concerned, because all we know is that we want it. That's all we know. And I can remember years later, when I would end up in jail after drug-fueled episodes on the street, which led me to prison. Well, the behaviours from those drug-fueled episodes was just madness, and that led me to prison, of course. And I would get into jail, and I would be thinking of the females that I had met or who were still connected with me being in my prison cell, and I would start writing letters and try to connect with certain people in the hope of they would respond to me and communicate with me. And that drive that I had in those prison cells to want love used to really keep me going. It gave me purpose, it gave me motivation. It made me feel good, reaching out. And when I would get a reply, oh my God, in a letter from somebody that I liked or I was attracted to, oh, it was freaking happy days. Like, I'd be getting around with a smile on my face like a Cheshire cat. I'll be going up to the other prisoners, and I was saying, hey, have a look at this girl. look what she said here. I'd get a spring in me step. The new kid on the block with a very upbeat, optimistic spirit in my soul, just by somebody responding to that feeling I had of wanting to connect and wanting this connection in love. So I'm sure all you guys can relate to that. You know, male, females, we all feel that. And you don't have to be, and you don't have to be in jail to feel that, right? Like, you get that anywhere. We all go through those feelings somewhat. Different in their own unique way for the unique people that experiences the stuff that I have spoken about through my experience, but nevertheless, the content is still relatable. Well, I think it is, and if it's not relatable for you, well, that's okay too. Not everybody relates to other people and their thoughts and their feelings and experiences, and we're all different. But for me, back in the day, I couldn't have managed love over a period of time. And I actually used to get it quite a lot. There was lots of girls attracted to me. And I used to be attracted to them. Of course. Very passionate guy, very loving human being. But it never lasted. I wasn't committed to it. I didn't know how to keep it. So I would just behave in ways and not even be conscious of the way I was behaving when I was connected with females and in relationships. I'd do what I want, and they would have to follow me somewhat. And not many of them did. They decided to take another road instead of going down my roads. I don't know, maybe my roads was not quite evident. They seen something down my road or didn't feel something to go down my roads, because I'm assuming this, that it would always end in disaster. Either I'd be in prison, and no partner likes having a relationship with somebody who goes to jail. That person isn't there with them. Love's a two-way thing, yeah, like the Wiggles. Like the Wiggles, there we go. Yeah, so I was too selfish, man. Like, I wasn't, as I said, I wasn't committed, and I was too selfish. I had other agendas. I had a drug habit to take care of, man. Like, I was friggin', my priorities weren't aligning with being committed in a loving relationship. And that was hard because I wanted it so bad, and I didn't know what I was doing to not have it. for a long period of time. I would meet girls, I'd be with them for 3 months, a year, 18 months, 6 months, and then another one, same deal, another one, same deal. And then I'd end up lonely again. And then I wanted it again. Oh my God. It was like I was on the Ferris wheel, you know, at the theme park. And I was getting off every single time. I wasn't staying on that with those loves that I had experienced as a connection in my life. And the selfishness that I had was all about me. It wasn't about the two people in the relationship. It wasn't about the other person. It wasn't about the relationship growing. It wasn't about developing that relationship over a long period of time. It wasn't about commitment. I disregarded it. Not consciously, but I did. I absolutely disregarded it. And the way I did that is I did my own thing. And I couldn't communicate feelings to those partners. I couldn't commit on an emotional level. I didn't have the ability to commit on that level. I wasn't aware enough to understand how important that is for a relationship and for love to blossom and prosper. So I've enjoyed the experience in seeing that I haven't been committed, and I've given up, and I haven't had it as a priority to want to stay with the love that I had during those times, those different relationships. So I could still have that today. And the consequence, or the consequences of that, is my loneliness today. And I hope that if there's people out there in relationships today who love each other and might be struggling, they might take something away from this about remembering what you have now is very special. And it takes more than wanting love and desiring love when you're single. It takes a commitment. It takes working with your partner and your partner working with you to stay together, to talk about your problems, to talk about your feelings, to seek help when you guys aren't connecting with each other, to seek help for love. Because remember, that's what draws everybody to it, love. To make the effort with each other, to look at your own behaviours, your own attitudes. Hopefully, the relationship you have and the love that you have is strong enough for you individually to become a better person through the relationship that you have with somebody at the moment. Because that's also what potentially it represents, the individuals in a committed, loving relationship has the opportunity to grow and see ways within themselves that they need to develop and fix and improve and polish, so that love conquers time. And that's what everybody wants in love. Everybody wants love to go the distance, but a lot of people don't see to get the distance in love. We are all responsible for ourselves in the relationship and prior to the relationship. And if we don't get that, you might lose what is really, really, really important in your life. I know this, that love is important, but I know it's hard because of dealing with our own feelings. And it's so easy to blame your partner, but it's so easy to blame everything in life, yeah? Think about that. How much do we all do it? And blaming each other in loving relationships is not creating unity. It's not creating oneness. It creates separation. I know from experience. So to get to oneness in your love, you need to listen to each other. And you also need to have a look at your own behaviour and what you're doing, and both sides of the coin, I believe. So let's look at ourselves in love. And if we can look at ourselves in love, then hopefully, or maybe, love will be able to withstand the problems that everybody experiences who enters the commitment of relationships in love. You take care now and have a great day. And try and find love. And when you find it, remember these words. Take care.